All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Problem Solver Politics live stream. I am your host, Cardinellis, with Cody the Oracle.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
And today, we're talking about all kinds of stuff today. Cody, take it away, my man. What is up?
Well, there's one big story I've seen going around today that actually it's not really a big story. It's just one that interests me.
Hit it.
So we're going to talk about it. But,
Okay.
let's see. So today, well, not today, but, geez. Sorry, I tried to say it from the top of my head without looking. It was the 7th. I should have just said it. On November the 7th, Andrew Yang stated that him and his wife, Evelyn, didn't mention the kids. I don't know what that means. Anyway, we're going to be moving to Georgia to help John Ossoff and Reverend Warnock win. So it's our only chance to help clear Mitch out of the way and help Joe and Kamala get things done in the next 4 years. More details to come, but let's go. Fairly, what's what I'm looking for? I don't know, I'm going to try. Well, I always get that word wrong. But, fairly harmless tweet, right? Like, whatever is moving to Georgia to help him campaign. Well, anyways, this led to this headline, which I love. This is the corrected version. Glenn Beck's website, The Blaze, by the way. It's who The Blaze is, owned by Glenn Beck. Which is like, I know it's like Glenn Beck doesn't literally handwrite every headline, but
Yeah.
it's a old school bombastic conservative radio. Like, it's like, I'm sorry. It's just, all those like Clinton era conservative radio guys. I just think of them as like, I don't know, just kind of like old school. But anyway, this article was published in Mark Levin. Oh, no, Chris Enlow actually wrote this article. So he says, liberal activist Andrew Yang's comments raised suspicion that Democrats could exploit Georgia law to win critical runoff elections. Election officials are going to pay attention to what is happening. So let's go through the article. It's what everyone's saying. This is pretty funny. So they mention as the nation sets its sights on Georgia, where 2 runoff elections will determine which political party controls the U.S. Senate for the next 2 years, former Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang announced last week he is moving to the Peach State to aid Democratic efforts there. I like how they say WAGA-TV reported. He literally just tweeted out, "I'm moving." Like, it's not like it was like...
Yeah.
Anyway, they go on to mention...
Well, see, before you go out here... And,
well, I just want to say, this is a kind of a...
Okay.
This is a BS bunk article, but there's been a lot of these coming out. So I just wanted to go through the...
Well, how is it a BS bunk article? Because the first thing that came to my mind...
Because Andrew Yang has stated multiple times in the days since the original tweet.
Yeah.
In the days between him tweeting this and this article being published, I believe, right? This article was published... today or yesterday, but still, he had said multiple times, like, I'm not going to vote in Georgia. I'm just moving there to help campaign, Like, yes, I'm just moving there for the race. That's why I'm not voting. I'm not, he said that multiple times. However, and this is, I saw a lot of people on Twitter that were they're really upset. Like, oh man, like trying to get them to defend Yang. And the reality is, that's how the media works. You just accuse someone of doing something even though it's not true, and then just whatever, my bad. Like no one cares that you're proven wrong. Andrew Yang literally said himself, oh no, yeah, I'm not voting there. We're just moving to help campaign. He actually is a part of a couple of different organizations. One of these is Win Both Seats. Time to take the Senate. He did this together with you'll see he's thrown in here with a bunch of different people, including is it on this? I guess it's not led by Andrew Yang. Sorry. He's on this somewhere. Co-founded by Andrew Yang. My apologies. He's not one of the leaders. He's the co-founder. Along with actor and humanitarian. I guess probably done humanitarian works. Probably. If you took actor away, I'd be confused. If you took humanitarian away, I wouldn't. Anyway, here's some other people you'll see. But, and Stacey Abrams, who is currently the most important person in Georgia. We'll see what happens there. But anyway, he's literally going there to take part in stuff. It's not like he's just, trying to do some fly-by-night, everybody move down here. But you're going to see more and more stuff like this. For example, you notice this article will start going into things like, they said that Yang's comments immediately generated questions of whether Democratic voters are looking to exploit Georgia's lenient election laws to give Democrats the edge in both runoff elections. And then they just talk a bunch in this article about the idea of doing that. Something Yang, I don't think ever actually promoted, and he's definitely been sure to walk back as far as, I believe, today in this tweet thread. Somewhere today he came out again and reaffirmed he will not be voting in Georgia.
Okay, so, as long as he's vocal about the fact that he's not going there to commit voter fraud, then I'm fine with it. Whatevs. This is when there's 2 types of Andrew Yang out there. There's the kind of Andrew Yang that I was in love with yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And I was kind of riding high with all week. And then there's useful idiot Andrew Yang that doesn't realize he's getting played by the Democrats.
Well, that's the next one we get into, yeah.
You know, and this I feel is the Andrew Yang that like still thinks that if he plays nicely, they'll like him, not realizing this is the campus bully who's using you until he doesn't need you anymore. Okay, so look, Andrew Yang's my boy. I love Andrew Yang. All right. But there's times where I sometimes want to pull him inside and say, just like, you're getting played, dog. And then there's other times where I'm like, okay, rock on. In this instance, it kind of feels like he's getting played, but whatever. I have a question for you, Cody. Do you think, because I mean, a lot is riding on these Georgia elections. Basically, we've got a tie in the House right now. For lack, you know, there's always some Republicans that'll defect and go soft and go with the Democrats, and there's always a bunch of purple state Democrats that Nancy Pelosi can't quite corral them all. It's like herding cats. So you know, you get close enough in the House of Representatives within 5 to 10 seats, and you basically have a proverbial detente. Okay, so we basically got detente in the House. Okay, and right now we've got detente in the Senate, but the Senate is a lot more razor sharp because there's far less of them. Okay. And now that Dirty Harry Reid got rid of the filibuster, I'm sorry, they want to get rid of the filibuster. They got rid of the filibuster in terms of approving not justices. Yes, justices and judges is the word I was looking for. But I mean, so much is riding on this. If Joe Biden effectively finishes stealing the election, they'll have the House, though it's close, they'll have the House. They'll have Biden in office. And then with the Senate not being in the opposition party's hands, they will literally add immediately 4 new senators. They'll just create 2 new states and add 4 new senators. They've been wildly vocal about packing the Supreme Court. And let's face it, it's going to be a Kamala presidency that does this. Like, I mean, if anybody thinks Joe Biden's running the show, they're fooling themselves. Joe Biden didn't run his election. He never really ran his senatorship. He didn't run his vice presidency.
Well, the president's never actually the president either. Like, it's not like Kamala would be president. Like, dude, you know who
her
actually...
buddies and those activists.
Do you know who actually rules over us? It's the intelligence agencies and the media. They rule over us. They let us vote in the president, but the intelligence agencies and the media, which, by the way, is like the same thing. My favorite thing ever is when literal spies like announce in a press release, oh, former NSA operative is going to work for MSNBC as an analyst. Oh, are you sure they're former? Like what the hell?
Yeah.
Like we just have, we literally have an intelligence agency to talking head on media pipeline. Like what? It doesn't make any sense, man. They just claim, oh, we don't work for the CIA anymore. But when I go on the news to assure you of what reality is, I'm not doing this on the CIA's orders anymore. Totally. I work for MSNBC. They're different things.
Actually, that is really funny that
ridiculous.
You say, are you sure that it's former? That is true. Are you sure that it's former? So, anyway.
Well, anyway. Sorry, I want to go back to Snow.
No, I just want to know. This is my question for you. Is so much is riding on this. They're going to pack the Supreme Court if they win the Senate. They're going to add the states. They're going to get rid of the filibuster.
Here's the thing.
Do you think...
Let me answer your question.
Okay, what? Do you think they can win them?
Even if they win both Senate seats, it'd be a 50-50 tie, assuming every Democrat votes with them.
No, but it's not. Because then
it would literally
be a 50-50 tie, it goes to the vice president who's Kamala.
Hold on. Assuming, I'll look at the screen. Assuming you don't have things like literally a guy. I get you only have to get one Republican. But if there's a Democrat, like Joe Manchin, who's been on record as far as 2 days ago, saying, I am not going to vote on these things. Senator Joe Manchin on Monday night effectively shot down any chance that Democrats are able to nix the legislative filibuster if they find themselves with control of the Senate.
So here's my response to that.
I'm going to finish. My point is this. I get that. All it takes is one Mitt Romney to go the other way, too. I understand. My only point is, I think obviously that the Democrats would rather have the tie in their favor. Because it's a tie in their favor. Because it's only a tie if they get everybody on board. Dude, like, 50-50 split, like, that's like aren't, as far as I understand, maybe it's less than Senate and the House is more common, right? But like, dude, sometimes like someone's on a plane and they can't vote. You know what I mean? Like they have like another they just literally are like, when you need every last vote, like one person in a swing district that's like, my constituency doesn't like this and I'm up for re-election in a couple of years, just takes one. And boom, done. No, you can't get it anymore.
Yeah.
Even with the simple majority. So,
okay,
I think
here's my response to that.
I just think this notion that if it's a 50-50 tie, that means Democrats steamroll everything they want always forever. That's absurd. I don't think that's happening.
But Cody, you and I have lived the rebuttal of your own thesis right now. You and I have lived this, bro. Do you remember when there was all those Democrats before they were going to pass Obamacare? There was like, I can't remember, it was like 15 or 20 or so odd. No, maybe 15 or 20 isn't enough. Sorry, I mean, it's too much. That's an exaggeration, but there was a handful of them that weren't going to vote. Obamacare wasn't going to go through. And then freaking Harry Reid gets on the phone. And I don't know what that brother said. I don't know what extrajudicial assassination he threatened. I don't know what scandal and divorce records he said he was going to open. I don't know what, gay sex tape or whatever this brother was blackmailing or holding on these people.
The point is,
he flipped every single holdout.
Okay, but Cardin, if
Joe Manchin says, I want to expand the court.
If the argument is that some conspiratorial,
I'm saying leadership
moves him. But dude.
And it's not conspiratorial. It's Harry Reid just straight up doing his job.
A senator, even if they win both, it takes just one to say, and by the way, I want to read his quote on this. Like, I understand. Here's the thing. We can always say, but they're lying. And yes, maybe they are lying. But this is literally his quote. 50-50 means there's a tie. But if one senator does not vote in the Democratic side, there is no tie. Will they talk about it? Whether it be packing the courts or ending the filibuster? I will not vote to do that.
Yeah, until freaking Kamala gets on board and calls him and threatens him with whatever Harry Reid did.
He's lying and someone can make him change his mind. I guess that is always can always say, just not true. Just not true. It just won't happen that way. My point is this. There's already at least a Democrat on record being like, yeah, I'm not going to be the guy. Here's the other thing, dude. With a 50-50 majority, like simple majority like that, where you just need a one vote or even a tie to get to the VP. Dude, like he says here, I think the way he phrased this is important to keep in mind too with this. Where does he phrase? He says, that won't happen because I will not be the 50th Democrat voting to end that filibuster. Dude, a lot of people, someone has to be that number 50 vote. Like literally the person who says yay or nay on this. It just takes one guy in a vulnerable, or guy or girl, in a vulnerable moderate district to be like, a moderate state with the constituency that doesn't want this to go, sorry, I can't be that 50th vote. I can't go back to my constituents as literally the vote that got this thing they didn't want done. And then expect to get reelected. And again, maybe the mafia tactics, maybe they break their legs and they drag their body into the body and vote for them. Maybe that happens, but I don't see a world where the Democrats have a 50-50 tie where they have to get all 50 Democrats on board for every single thing. I don't see how that just means Democrats steamroll everything forever. I just don't.
Okay. This moment that we're in right now, dog, prophecies can be fulfilled multiple times, but dude, this is all in the white horse prophecy. Joseph Smith said there will be a time, my friend, when the Constitution hangeth as if by a thread. And boom, think about that. We're down to right now where the Constitution will be hanging by a thread. Like the Democrats are just trying to cut the last shred
what does it even
that
mean?
It's hanging from.
It doesn't even mean anything.
Getting to the filibuster, adding all the senators, packing the Supreme Court, turning us into France, 1789.
That's literally just like in your head things that you think
No,
could
it's not.
happen.
It's what they want to do. Do they want to pack the Supreme Court? Would that be wildly destructive to the faith of our system?
Not every Democrat, no.
Okay. Those that are running the show, that all of your...
And want to or will are also different things. Maybe they want to, maybe they can't. Maybe they won't. I don't know. I just did this idea that I don't know, like, because it's literally 50-50. It's like all 50 of these stupid Democrat mafiosos will just line up to vote to launch us into the sun. Like,
I can't think of something more reprehensible.
If you govern a country, destroying it makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense to just piss off all your constituents and run the country into the ground. It doesn't make any sense.
Then none of them would have voted for Obamacare. If what you just said, that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, wouldn't do whatever, man.
But dude, you can't say we've gotten to a point.
One day you'll remove yourself from the culture war mindset, and you'll be able to take a deep breath and just look at how
I'm
things
like Bane.
are.
I was born in it, dog.
When you look at things as they are and not as they should be, it makes a lot more sense. Okay.
Okay, I'm down with that. I mean, there's probably some truth to that, dog. There's probably some truth to that. I got to check this the chats out, my man. I got to check out the chats.
Okay.
You're gonna have to forgive me though.
Really quickly,
because,
I thought this was interesting as well. Just getting back to the idea of Andrew Yang moving his family to Georgia. So Mark Cuban tweeted this out. Just I want to get your thought on this. For those considering donating to Reps or Dems in the Georgia Senate runoffs, can you please reconsider and donate that money to your local food bank and organizations that can help those without food or shelter? Let's put Americans in need above politics.
Yeah, Mark Cuban's just trying to make up for him basically saying he'd bend the knee to China because China is a customer.
Well, okay,
he's pulling an Andrew Carnegie. He's building Carnegie Hall right now because he's sick and tired of everybody saying, look, you're just a filthy capitalist that only cares about customers and not people. So that's just a PR tweet. That's just a PR tweet, dude.
Well, it is interesting because, like a bunch of people are going to put millions of dollars into a losing Senate campaign no matter what. Someone loses. I mean, everyone doesn't win. But it's interesting because, dude, how many, wasn't it like $100 million went into unseating Mitch McConnell? Or 100 plus? Dude, how much is going to go to flip? Like I said,
by the way,
there's this narrative that, there's a narrative that you were saying where it's like, as long as the Dems get this 50-50 tie, they'll be able to replace Mount Rushmore with Barack Obama and Joe Biden. Like it doesn't work that way.
Oh my gosh, look what John Legend said to reply to his tweet. I get the politics is annoying and contentious, but the bottom line is that the Senate flipping would be far more impactful than a food bank donation. I actually doubt that. And that's the biggest problem that progressives had is they actually think Democrats...
Are you saying a rich millionaire telling people not to donate into a food bank, but to donate to my political candidate of choice in a state you don't live in is stupid? Yes, it is. It is out. That's why John Legend honestly shouldn't... dude, John Legend, one of those people that during the Trump era rose up because if you said Trump was bad, people would just like, oh, hell yeah, dude, Trump is bad.
Look how he says, look, government needs to do this. Charity isn't sufficient. That says so much more about John Legend.
He literally could just give money to charity and donate to politics. It's just funny. This is the kind of the coastal elite mindset that Democrats the coastal elite mindset problem that Democrats have that Andrew Yang
they literally think that Democrats care about people.
Not even that. Just the optics of a rich, famous millionaire saying, don't give money to food banks, donate to Democratic senators in Georgia because I want them to win. Like, there's a lot of people like, I need food from the food bank. I get that you're a famous millionaire who doesn't, but I do. I don't need the Senate flipped. I get you want it because it's like, it's your little hobby to see your political party win. But for regular people, they have much of the money goes to charities to help them. Yeah. the fucking Senate campaigns in Georgia.
So look, we got.
Just imagine that you go to the food bank. Why is there no food? Oh, well, our donors had to give money to a Senate runoff in Georgia. Is it important to you Democrats win? For some people say, no, I need food. What the hell? Yeah. What is this? No, don't worry. Once the Democrats win, we can end the filibuster. What does this mean?
So here's a couple super chats, Cody. Adam Duffy, Brother Duffy, my man, my Mormon brother, right there with a podcast. Look at this, we're like twins, man. Anyway, says I'll make sure to shout out PSP when I see Andrew. Dude, do that. We actually, post our initial interview with him, never got another interview, and a lot of it was because we wouldn't donate.
I want to reach out to him again, try again, see what happens.
So yeah, I'd be curious now that he's no longer a candidate if he would entertain the idea of an interview with us more. And I think that would say a lot. Actually, I would gain respect for Andrew Yang if he came on our show, not just because, I think people that come on my show are cool, but I think there's part of him that's afraid of the challenge.
Well, but we haven't even asked him yet. So I don't think
we'll see. We'll see.
I don't know anything about it. I just know we haven't asked. I don't think we've asked him really since the camp. Maybe shortly after, but even then he was.
I know we never reached out post campaign.
Not really. Not.
So we should do that.
Yeah, big time.
So anyway,
I want to try to get some more people on for interviews. It's difficult. Oh, speaking of, we have to talk after the show about that.
Yeah. And anyway, Adam Duffy says he'll shout out PSP when he sees Andrew. Thank you very much, Adam. And also, Derail to the T. Thanks for the super chat, Derail to the T. Says Dems only need one, quote, Romney impeachment to lose. You know? Wait, what does he mean by Romney
I think what he's
impeachment?
speaking of
I think he
is
means
Romney voting against impeachment. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, like it literally just takes a person to just be like, nah, I'm not voting. That's why it's, dude, by the way, it looks like the Democrats, speaking of it being important to win in Georgia, dude, it looks like, let me look at the House results. Dude, it looks like the Democrats might have I think the Democrats are on track to literally have, look at this. Democrats are on track to literally have the narrowest House majority since the New Deal.
Whoa, wait, say
Not
that
the
again?
Green New Deal, the New Deal. The Democrats are on track to have the slimmest majority in the House since the New Deal.
Wow, that's
right now,
bad.
sorry, I'm taking forever to format this correctly. I don't know why. This is where they are right now. And it looks like Republicans are favored. Here we go. Like Democrats might have a majority here of 7 or 8 seats, 9 seats, something like that, right?
Okay.
Dude,
Wow.
we're talking about how in the Senate, dude, in the House, there's almost always a couple people that just don't vote for some reason.
Yeah.
Imagine needing
Not
almost
being there,
every,
voting present.
And
Yeah.
you want to talk about vulnerable people in swing districts? Senators have 6 years and they have states. Congressional candidates have 2 years in a congressional district. They have a lot more. For example, I think a lot of the House seats Democrats lost this year was Democrats who in 2018 got elected running on healthcare and then tried to impeach Trump and didn't do healthcare. So,
Yeah.
dude, people.
They ran on
they're more
anti-Trumpism instead of pro-healthcare.
But no, they ran on healthcare originally.
Yeah.
And then lied to their constituents.
I don't think there's a Democrat that's run on anything other
Because
than...
to you Democrats don't exist.
No,
Angry rat
let's
people
face
with
it,
sticks
let's face
exist.
it.
They're called Democrats.
No,
but sorry,
every campaign I ever saw in 2018
Okay.
was anti-Trump first,
okay, but
constituent issues
You didn't see
second.
all 200 or whatever House elections.
Okay,
So
I
there was
did a
lot-
sampling.
Oh, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
There was a lot of moderate House Democrats who won on, hey, I'm going to go up there just to kind of push back on Trump, get you guys health care. This isn't about hysteria stuff. And then they got elected and fell behind Nancy. My only point being dude, the Democrats, there is in the Senate, there's, again, you represent an entire state. There's less of you. Dude, in Congress and the House of Representatives, there's hundreds of people. There is a lot of Democrats who represent red areas and stuff. Remember, there's the guy in New Jersey who was a Democrat who flipped to being a Republican because he didn't want to impeach Trump. And they said, if you don't want to impeach Trump, we're going to primary your ass. So he just became a Republican instead.
Yeah.
He won. He got reelected. I mean, these people exist. He got elected as a Democrat and got reelected as a Republican. Those districts exist. So that's where the Democrat majority being slim in the House as well is really, because dude, you might have people in the House if the Democrats have a 10 seat or a 15 seat advantage. You might have enough there to make things difficult. Of people going well, I don't know. I don't know if I can put my name on this bill. This is too progressive. I have a more moderate district, even though I'm a Democrat. Now, again, under impeachment, Nancy got him to fall in line, but almost all those freshmen got the axe, man. Not all, but a lot of them got the axe when it was 2020. People are like,
Yeah.
you lied. Boom, gone. Republicans back in. Because
Yeah.
a lot of House districts are that up for grabs in a way.
Yeah. So, here's my question. Just flat question. Do you think the Dems can pull off both Senate victories in Georgia?
No.
Or is that just a bunch of
No.
hogwash?
I mean, both, I don't see it. No.
Both?
Is
You don't
it
see it?
literally possible? Yes, it is literally possible to happen. I'll tell you what. Let's pull up the results. Pull
Okay.
up the results and see how we got here. Right?
Hit it. Hit it.
Sorry.
Well, because the whole reason why we're here is because Georgia has a very interesting and to a certain extent what I perceive as good law. Okay, there's all these articles saying that it dates back to racist days to try and keep black candidates out. And, I don't know whether I believe that or not, just because, for heaven's sakes, according to the New York Times, America was founded on racism. Forget, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. No, it was, racism, white supremacy, and bigotry. So I just don't have a trust in the media's reinterpretation of the past to tell me what people's motivations really were. But at the end of the day, the law that's on the books in Georgia, yes, south of the Mason-Dixon line, is similar actually to the Electoral College of the United States of America as a whole, that you can't win with a plurality. You have to have a majority. And if none of the candidates for Senate get over 51%, then they have to have a runoff between the top two. Meaning, if there's a three-way candidacy in which one candidate gets 45%, another candidate gets 25%, and the other candidate gets 30%, okay? That even though the guy that had 45% has 15% more than the dude in second place, since he didn't win a majority, then it goes into a runoff between the top two, okay? And that's the way it is in the Senate. That's why it's 270 to win, the name of the website. Okay. So neither one of the senatorial candidates got that majority, that 51%. And it's very interesting, and it's reflected by the Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and Joe Jorgensen results here. Joe Biden got 49.5, Donald Trump got 49.2, and Joe Jorgensen got 1.2. So when I look at the state, I'm thinking, gosh, man, I mean, that usually libertarians are a little bit more conservative with the limited government idea of libertarianism in the South. I've noticed most of your Southern libertarians, when you put a gun to their head and have them choose between Republican and Democrat, they choose Republican. And I mean, to say that 2 for 2 when your boy presidentially is the underdog, winning to me just seems like is a long shot. Does that make sense, Cody?
Yes.
I view this as going...
That was a very deep-throated, long explanation, but let's get to what I said. Let's look at the results so we can see who ran and what it was like, right?
Okay, let's hit it.
So there's two
Be
races.
Be nice to me, Cody. Be nice to me,
dog.
dog.
Sorry, just like I was pulling the results up for 1 second, and you go into like a 15-minute rant on like the Constitution of Georgia and their very first ever state senate and what the first flag looked like. But anyway, here was the results in one of those. This is the interesting one to me, right? Notice a lot of people received over 100,000 votes, which when the number one person received 1.6 million, 100,000 votes, like, dude, like, for example, this Jamezia James down here, she received 94,000 votes. That's a ton of votes. Don't get me wrong. Like, weird thing as well, you'll notice how many Democrats and Republicans you have running for one seat. Jesus, splitting the vote. But that's what we get to, splitting the vote. Now, obviously, other Democrats were running, right? So it'd be wouldn't be crazy to think you could add more votes to Warnock, because as you pointed out, the top two are going to be in the runoff, so it's going to be Loeffler and Warnock. However, I mean, the person who now sizable lead for Warnock, however, almost all of that was because Doug Collins and Kelly Loeffler split a large majority of the vote.
Well, however, they had a lot of people.
There's
running.
Another 10% here, exactly. So
like,
it really is close.
Doug Collins
it really
clocking 20%. That's huge. And then, by the way, usually it's not even a three-way runoff. Usually it's like 45, 45, and then there's like some 1%ers, 1% for the Green, 1% for Libertarian, 0.5% for all the others.
If you look at the other seat.
But look at this. I mean,
this is more, to your point, this is the other seat. This is more conventional. 49 Purdue, 48 Ossoff, 2 DeShane Hazel. I'm just trying to point out, again, it is kind of weird to see this many people receiving this many votes.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like more like a city council election when there's like 5 seats up for grabs, It
also goes to say, though, there was this many Democrats who only agreed on not supporting Warnock. They didn't even agree on who they wanted to support. They only agreed on not supporting him. It's another way of looking at it. Now, are a lot of these people going to show up and just vote D anyway because they don't care? Probably, yeah. There's probably going to be some principled people here that'll be like, I couldn't support Warnock then, I won't support him now. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe, but I don't know, man. It's close. But then here's the other race we have wherein I think there's a slim chance that there actually might not be a runoff here still. They say there will, but there's 99% reporting. I guess if everything comes in Purdue, it might tip them. No, it won't probably. But anyway.
Well, look at the Shane Hazel
very
cat.
Close.
What's interesting is I'm going to throw a little aside into this. I watched Reason Magazine's autopsy of the Libertarian Party today. And the title, I mean, it was brutal. It was basically like, should we even libertarian anymore? You know what I'm saying? And there's some major libertarian podcasters that were on the record of saying, I don't think we should try and continue as a party. If you value freedom, it's better that we actually just take our values into the Democrat Party and run locally as an X, Y, or Z candidate and try and release as much freedom as you can upon that party as possible. And if you can register as a Republican where you are and just try and change things for liberty there, there's a lot of libertarians that are thinking, it's not even worth being the losertarian party anymore. So the fact that Homeboy got 2.3% of the vote is pretty good, dude, because they're usually in less than 1%.
Want to hear a funny story?
Okay.
So I haven't looked further into this, but
hit it.
Now Hawaii.
P.S. I'm jealous of how fast you type. Your fingers fly, dog.
Do you want to know how I learned to type that fast?
I watch you. It's like.
Do you want to know how I learned to type that fast?
Why?
Unironically.
Unironically.
Growing
up
in
video games.
Sort of. Growing up playing Counter-Strike, there was no pause button, right? So like legitimately, if I want to type in game, you got like seconds, man. Like someone could just come and wipe you out. So from like frantically typing as fast as I can to trash talk people in game after I kill them. That's what I learned to type so fast. It was it's literally like typing with a gun to your head. You're just like, oh my God. Anyway, check this out.
Wait, before you talk, George Washington gave us $1. Thank you very much, George Washington. And he also asked you a question. Do we know how many people voted for Andrew Yang? Oh, that's a good number to know.
Let me pull that up. I'll pull that up in a second, actually. It's a good idea. But this other thing is interesting as well. So, Hawaii has 2 U.S. House seats, which I think is, not that crazy. Oh, hold on. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I pulled the wrong one up. Pull up. Give me 1 second.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Can I go over some of these comments while you're pulling that up?
I would love that.
Okay, awesome. A couple of people says, Cardin looks like an uncle. And I didn't know what that meant, but it was Echolink said that. So I just responded and said, look like an uncle, joke like a dad. Oh, boom, shakalaka. Where's Sly Cactus when you need him? And then we're actually looking up as we speak, George Washington, how many people voted for Andrew Yang. It was interesting. I actually finally listened to the podcast with Andrew Yang and Sagar and Jetty that came out like a month ago. It's been on my to listen to list forever, and I finally got to it today. And then I also went on to listen to his Yang Speaks with Joel McHale that just came out, I think, yesterday or the day before. And I had never thought about it. One of the things he asked Andrew Yang was, at what point did they start taking you seriously? Because in all of our coverage of Andrew Yang, I had never realized exactly in what month and year he had filed to run for president. Do you know what month and year it was, Cody?
November 2018?
No, November 2017.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it was November 2017 for the 2020 election. So, I mean, that is bad. Like his whole first year, literal just absolute nobody.
Hey, you got to grind sometimes.
I mean, but for a year, dude, my respect for Andrew Yang went up right. Like, I mean, to have a 3-year presidential campaign unsupported by any individual party is in and of itself a feat worth writing a book on. So I think so. I read weird books.
I'm still looking for the full national results.
Hit it.
But I can tell you in the state of Vermont, he got 42 votes.
That's it?
In Vermont, like 35 people live in Vermont, dude.
Yeah, what is the population?
I'm still looking to see a comprehensive write-in list of everybody. I'll see if I can put it together. But so I want to show you, that's really interesting. I saw us pointed out by someone else earlier. Sorry, I just had to go to some deeper results. Check this out, right?
Hit it.
Now, you will notice, let me see if they have the results. They don't have the numbers here. Anyway, though, my point was this. In Hawaii this year, during their state elections, right? Like state reps, like we have state house representatives, state assembly. We have state senate and state assembly. Some people have like other state bodies, whatever. Yeah. In Hawaii, dude, there was this third party this year called the Aloha Aina Party. I don't know exactly when they formed. I think they're fairly recent. However, in some
they're
of
like
these,
super progressive, right?
Yeah, but they're also like, they're like, we'll look up the exact, but I wish they had the results. In a few of these local races, their local candidate outperformed the Republican. And you'll notice, dude, they had candidates in a lot of these. Look, these are all the local districts. This is
Really?
the Hawaii House, so it's the state level offices. But look, Aloha Aina, Aloha Aina, Aloha Aina, Aloha Aina, Aloha Aina. Look at this, dude. Like they were running the American
The
shopping party.
What is
We'll
that?
look into that. Another one.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they were putting candidates in a lot of these, and again, I'll see if I could pull the exact one up. There was one of these where they literally outperformed the Republican. Now it's Hawaii. I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's you'll notice
There's
a
probably
trend. The Democrat run every single one of these very. Oh, sorry, there's a single Republican for some reason representing a
and that was
local-
probably not even supported by the party. It was probably like a dark
yeah.
horse.
But I mean, it's
yeah.
just very, very, very blue state. But I thought that was fascinating.
It's Hawaii's new
Anyway.
political party, according to PR Web, is the American Shopping Party.
Dude, Hawaii is
50 million shoppers buy American made.
50 million shoppers. I love that. 50 million shoppers. Not even American
sustainability
shoppers.
meets direct action democracy. This is amazing. Oh my gosh, I am sending you this link, Cody.
Dude, 1 second. How many votes
Okay.
did he get in the nonpartisan primary for Hawaii?
I don't know how many.
100.
Jeez, man. That's not my boy.
Sorry, this is off topic. But yeah, the American Shopping Party.
Hey, by the way, George Washington, thank you. Thanks again for another super chat. Says, good work, guys. I like the studio upgrades. Hey, actually, I will take this time just to show off one of the studio upgrades, just because I'm really stoked about it. I just got an Aperture LED light that's totally changeable, and it's got the little panel on there so you can choose what different functions it's got and everything like that. And it's got this latex diffuser, and yeah, I can like stick it up against other parts that you can't really totally see on screen. And then it just adds like, extra accent lighting. So yeah, I'm stoked. This is actually where all of your super chats go, guys, is towards all the cool stuff that makes the studio look better, makes our voices sound better. So keep it coming. It's going to good use. Anyway, I'm going to go back to Hawaii's new political party. Okay. So here it is. New political party name, American Shopping Party. Sustainability meets direct action democracy. This is awesome. Wait, okay.
Honestly, hold on. This slogan right here,
It's not. This is kind of
that
smart,
might have
dude.
won me over. Consumers are the labor movement of the 21st century.
Yeah, dude.
That's not an.
We need to do a video on this tomorrow.
I am the Welcome to the American Shopping Party. I am the American shopping. This one
Like the way we
fascinating.
shop is the way
Here
we
go,
vote.
yeah.
You vote with your
60 million
dollars.
shoppers. Feel your power as an American. I love this. You're not even a citizen anymore. You're a shopper.
Yeah.
Unions, for example, bemoan their 14 million U.S. membership and following. That's just 10% the labor force. My dear unions, we know the easy cure. Tap the power of your members as an American shopper. Mr. Vice President, please. Vice President Biden, please call upon each union member to find just 3 friends and family to join our American shoppers. This gives you a movement 60 million members strong. That is 40% of the labor force, now unleashed upon our markets within days, if not hours.
Dude, these guys are genius. Look at my dear President Trump. Will you join us on our Shop American
Look at this.
Day?
The might of China's $1 trillion manufacturing was built upon the dollar of the American shopper.
Dude, these guys are
Again,
genius.
not the American people, not the
let's get
American
them on the
citizen,
show.
not the American taxpayer, not the American voter, the American shopper.
This is mother freaking genius, dude. This is
Oh my
genius.
God. This isn't. I mean,
Look,
like,
they got a podcast. They got an editorial.
Okay,
I have
they're
never.
also a Hawaii-based party, and they got how many votes? They gave her. Wayne Chen got 573 votes. He lost. He lost to the other nonpartisan individual.
Yeah. Still, my man. This is cooler than like the Jesse Ventura, like bison independence and freedom weird party that he had up in
The
Minnesota.
Bull Moose Party. God, what was the Bull Moose Party?
The Bull Moose Party was Teddy Roosevelt.
Okay.
Theodore Roosevelt started his own party. I think it was
It
Teddy
was not
Roosevelt.
from Married with Children. I thought that was a Married with Children sketch for some reason.
Yeah,
For a
Bull Moose Party started
Anyway, the
by
Aloha Aina Party celebrates and embraces other. They actually
Roosevelt.
beat Republicans in some votes, and they had like 14 candidates running in state thing. This is interesting to watch as far as 'cause I
Together
don't
We
know.
Rise. Oh, dude, that literally sounds like Maoism in freaking Hawaii.
Well, the Aloha Aina Party celebrates and embraces diversity in gender, age, race, ethnicity, culture, national origin, religion, range of physical ability, sexual orientation, financial means, education, and political perspectives.
I don't believe it.
See, here's the thing. When you add this many qualifiers, honestly, they probably could have just ended at diversity. That's basically everything. I mean, I can't think of
Although
any
this
other
is
form
good,
of
though.
diversity.
I give him.
That's what I mean. Political perspectives, education, financial means.
Well, first
orientation.
off, I want to get them on the show, and I actually want to see if they're.
That would be a fun interview. I agree.
Yeah, I want to see if they put their money where their mouth is. But I like this. We recognize the divine. I think there's something beautiful, and that's a good way of putting it. We recognize the divine, aloha the people, malama the aina, demand government accountability and transparency, and advocate for
government accountability and
Ho'oponopono.
transparency.
Oh, geez.
I'm all on board with that. But it's just because there's the thing, man. I do believe, and I think you believe this as well, and people in chat a little bit.
What, in Jesus? Come on, Cody.
The duopoly, so to speak, the way the two parties have a hold on things, I honestly think are coming to an end a little bit. I don't think we're going to be merging some third-party revolution. However, I do see things like, not the shopping party, but I could see like this Aloha Aina party winning one of these, and maybe 2 or 3 more cycles winning some of these, local state seats. I could see third parties getting some ground in various states around the country because, and I think it's going to become very transparent shortly after Joe Biden is sworn in. Donald Trump wasn't part of the duopoly, and we're going to see what the duopoly was. Because they'll all come back in. We're seeing, like, dude, like a bunch, like what was it? Oh my God, Dick Cheney's wife is like, like Dick Cheney's wife's pumped, McCain's wife's pumped, like, all these Republicans that were around up until 4 years ago when Trump got, they're all excited, like, oh hell yeah, we get to go back to working across the aisle, which is that they conspire together against us. That was always the game. It was always the Democrats and Republicans in power just conspire against the citizenry. Always.
Yeah.
For a while, they were conspiring against Trump because he wasn't them and he got in the way. But now they're conspiring against us again. And I think because a lot of people got activated and because the media is not going to be able to just all of a sudden go back to how they covered Obama, I don't think. And just be like, there's no scandals in the Biden White House. Everything's awesome.
Dude, I want to
People aren't going to buy that anymore. So I just think you will see an emergence of people becoming. Also, the other reason why I want to highlight this, no disrespect, but politics as a hobby is growing.
Yeah.
The idea of like I do politics for fun in my spare time is growing.
Yeah, that I have a podcast.
So I
and
think the idea of these little pet parties, these third parties building around that, much more likely when you have people who's. By the way, this was something that arose about 100 years ago.
That's actually a very wise observation, Cody.
The printing press, not the printing press, but 100 years ago when you saw all these radical parties popping up all over the world, right? A big reason why was you had a bunch of countries kind of coming into this new age of development and freedom. So you had a bunch of people able to kind of make parties, and politics became hobby, it became interest, it became, praxis, so to speak, and people started building all their own little parties and turning them into things. And I think this is a great time for that to happen again. Now, that does mean that there could be some terrible parties that rise out of this, but it is interesting to see.
Well, dude, no, listen to this. This American Shoppers Party, bro, is clean to my clock. I mean, ASP runs candidates from one industry per election cycle. So they just choose one industry to focus on. This election, we ran all farmers. Next, it will be nurses. And the next, it will all be teachers. Intriguing. And then ASP candidates resign 2 weeks before the election and give their vote to one of the other party candidates. And that way, they're not competing with other political parties. I actually want them to gain power. I don't want them to give it to other people. But this is interesting. We call it a political co-op. Think of it as a voters union, a new model for a political party. And then look, here's the Hawaiian political demands. This is good. I think they actually should run with this more. 1% of government budget for small business and farmers in Hawaii. And their reasoning is 1% may sound small, but it equals $2 billion. It's a good observation. Big biz gets tax breaks and benefits. Small biz gets no breaks. Now they will get the help they need. Yeah, why not set aside 1 penny on the dollar for small business that would completely change small business's life?
You're sounding like Elizabeth Warren right there.
Then, except for the difference is she's a Democrat, so she says it only to get votes and is a lying, filthy knave.
1 second.
And I'm not. So government places farmers and small biz front and center tourist experience at least 1 day a month. See, they're making very reasonable demands here. They say 1 day a month is all we ask. And then they have an American shopping day where you only shop American for 1 day. That's not bad. So C, goal, convert tourists into long-term consumers of Hawaiian made. We get new export market for local biz. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Get them hooked on the cool Hawaiian stuff before they go. And now you're exporting a market share. You know what I'm saying? And then finally, D, small biz grants against 50% of taxes paid by business employees over 5 years. I would want to see the more details on that.
Again, we can do a full deep dive into this. We're not doing a video on the American shopping party out of Hawaii in full, but
this is awesome.
it's interesting. But dude, there's all kinds of weird, goofy parties. But I don't know. Maybe we should do a video wrapping up. Honestly, I kind of want to do a video. I want to go state by state and look at some of the weird individual third parties that are kind of state focused and do a video on.
Yeah,
it.
that
So
would
I
be
agree.
actually kind of cool.
It's just that we can go on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and it would never end. There's just party after party after party. But, there we go. Media is already back to Obama-style coverage. Remember the refusal to address Biden corruption, and how dare you not bow to President-elect Biden?
Hey,
Derailed to the T. Dude, I will admit it is weird when I'll open up YouTube videos that like literally just say like, when Biden's president, he's going to do this, right? And then underneath it, it'll be like, the AP has called the race for Joe Biden. It's like, yeah, what the hell? No one's even like refuting that. Like,
Yeah.
it's like they like reaffirm, like, it's been called for him. And it's like, okay, but by the way, there's a lag time between the race being called by the media and being confirmed. So, well, it's been called doesn't mean anything. We have to wait for it to be confirmed, which it probably will, but like, what the hell?
Hey,
Why can't we just wait like the 3 or 4 weeks it takes for that to happen?
I think I found another Mormon in the
To
chat.
like
dog.
stamp every single video. Like someone will just be like, Joe Biden. Like someone will post like Joe Biden blizzard memes. Underneath it'll be like, the AP has called the. It's like, okay, dude, we
Yeah.
get it. They've called the race. Not every mention
They're really
of Joe Biden
angry
has to have that.
And only
Well,
a
it's just
person.
very deliberate and specific over and over and over again.
They're trying to reassert their power. And trust me, if somebody has to remind their constituents that they have the power, then they really don't have it.
That label's on this video? No way.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Like when did we even
Yeah.
bring Joe Biden up in this video? We were talking about the Senate. That's what I mean. Like it's just weird to me that like they go out of
Yeah.
their way to just stamp everything with it. It's like, what the hell?
No.
I don't think we've ever for 1 second refuted the fact that Joe Biden was winning on election night because of the disconnect between down ballot and the Biden votes. The down ballot Republican wins had me thinking Trump was going to win on election night. Ever since then, I've basically been like, yeah, Biden's probably going to win. We just have to wait for the process to play out. That's hilarious. But yeah, it's just like, it's just at a certain point, it starts getting weird. Like for example, I was looking at Kelly Loeffler in Georgia, right?
Yeah.
She released her first attack ad against Warnock in this special election. And it's pretty
Yeah.
brutal. And it's weird. Warnock had like a rebuttal, right?
Yeah.
And it was like it's a really weird ad where he's like, my opponent's gonna run attack ads, and they have like a fictional attack ad like Warnock hates puppies, and he's like they're not gonna be true, they're gonna be lies, and he's like holding a puppy, he's like, see, I love puppies, remember, don't listen to the attack ads, Warnock for Senate. It's like, dude, that is so sus. Like if they're lies and I don't have to believe them, you don't need to film yourself petting a puppy. Like, look at me, I'm the coolest guy. I'm like, dude, that's sus. Like, just you don't have to like preemptively, like when you're preemptively running rebuttal ads to your opponent's attack ads that are like, well, I was petting this poor puppy, look at me, I couldn't, like, what is the line from Psycho?
Yeah.
He's like, I'll just let the fly sit there because they'll say, look at him, he won't even hurt a fly. It's like, dude, what the hell is this, man? Here, I'll play that. It's a political ad, I can just run it. And again, no disrespect to this guy, no offense to this guy, it's just this ad coming from somebody who's not from that state, who doesn't know a whole lot about this. Watch this. It just feels kind of suspicious. Like, what do you like, why do you have to come out and say this, man? Like what? Here we go.
Hey, while you're okay,
I'll run that. It's like it's
Okay.
30 seconds. It's never long. Watch.
Eats pizza with a fork and knife.
Here we go. Watch.
Raphael Warnock eats pizza with a fork and knife. Raphael Warnock once stepped on a crack in the sidewalk. Raphael Warnock even hates puppies.
Get ready, Georgia. The negative ads are coming. Kelly Loeffler doesn't want to talk about why she's for getting rid of health care in the middle of a pandemic, so she's going to try and scare you with lies about me. I'm Raphael Warnock, and I approve this message because I'm staying focused on what Washington could do for you. And by the way, I love puppies.
That's a funny commercial.
See, it's cute, but that part at the end's kind of sus. To preemptively run my opponent's going to run these negative ads against
and then
me,
say something negative about
well,
her.
again,
Yeah.
and then not even that. It was a cute ad. Listen, there's just something to me at the very end where he's like petting the puppy, like like, I love puppies. Don't worry, you could trust me. Where I'm like, I don't know, dude.
No.
That's like just laying it on a little thick. I guess is the point I'm trying to get across. Laying it on a little thick. You know what I mean? Where I'm just like, dude, all you have to do is say, look, they're gonna lie about me, but trust me, I'm in your best interest. Just that last little bit. I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Hey, Cody.
There's something there. I felt like you're overselling it.
I think I found another Mormon in the chat, dog.
You're obsessed with
I
that.
think I found it.
There's plenty of Mormons.
No, listen. It says, Eco Thunderbolt says Cardin should start a modern Mormon party. Joseph Smith ran for president back in the day. Little known fact, but Joseph Smith indeed ran for the office of the presidency. Kind of in that era before it was like the big celebrity candidacy that it is now. Theodore Roosevelt really changed that. But yeah, it's true. And the only people that know that are Mormons. So I think Eco Thunderbolt is a Mormon. I think I sussed him out like a little bloodhound.
I will say one,
I got it.
Perhaps. No offense to Mormons. Not many non-Mormons. Like, Mormon people should do Mormon podcasts. But anyway.
So wait, Adam Duffy says, Cody, you don't understand. Eating pizza with a knife and fork in Georgia is almost as disliked as being a liberal. Really?
Is pizza a big thing down there in Georgia? Pizza? A lot of Italian Georgians? A lot of Italian Southern Americans. That's one of my favorite local radio drops. We have local sports radio out here, and they're talking about football in like Alabama, Atlanta, something in that area, so southeastern part of the United States, right? And someone in the sky calls and goes, "As a Southern American."
Yeah. Hey, so
One
in
second.
40234 also has an interesting question. It says, I'm curious, who do you think is the worst California politicians? I don't know too much about California politics as a person from Ohio. All of them. Literally all of
but
them.
like, here we go. Like the highlights, like obviously Nancy Pelosi. I mean, like Nancy Pelosi.
We're the most corrupt single party rule. Like,
Yeah.
in order to be
And
a Bolshevik
who-
in 1989,
who was
you
over-
had to be a corrupt,
Yeah,
bloodthirsty person.
who's been around the whole time?
Yeah,
in office forever.
We've got them all. Like, all the
What I'm
bad
saying is
ones.
Nancy Pelosi is literally not literally the worst. She is probably though. I know it's kind of like saying, you know, like my favorite basketball player is LeBron James. Like, yeah, LeBron James. No, there's no one better. It's like, dude, like Nancy's been there forever.
Nancy Pelosi,
overseen
Gavin
areas.
Newsom, Kamala Harris.
Well, I guess he's no longer
Eric
there.
Garcetti.
Remember Jerry Brown?
Jerry Brown. Dude,
Remember the
Eric
70
Garcetti's
years
in the
Jerry
transition
Brown?
team now, dog. They're putting Eric Garcetti ahead of transportation. He's this idiot that couldn't hold down a job, that wins by saying, oh, I remember back in the day, the conservative values that were all around Los Angeles. And I just loved like going to In-N-Out. And just like, he totally painted himself as this moderate, like everyman, you know what I'm saying? And now he's been like the most psycho lefty that will shut your party down. If you have a friend over Thanksgiving, he'll shut off your water and your electricity, regardless if it, you know, kills grandma in the upstairs ventilator. He'll straight up shut off your electricity. Oh, but you know, because he's so worried about COVID, and then the next day go marching arm in arm with 7,000 people in a Black Lives Matter march. Like, the biggest hypocrite in American politics right now is Gavin Newsom, shutting down everybody's schools while sending his own kids to a private school, shutting down everybody's restaurants while keeping open his winery, because it's not a restaurant, it's a winery. You know what I'm saying? Second biggest is Eric Garcetti. I actually think Gavin Newsom and Eric Garcetti are worse than Nancy Pelosi. I really think so. But yeah, that's what we do in California. Oh, Adam Schiff. We support Adam Schiff.
Yeah, Adam Schiff's one of ours.
This whole Russia hoax lie nonsense
Dianne Feinstein.
that they dragged
Right.
America. Yeah, Blasey Ford because of Dianne Feinstein. Yeah, Dianne Feinstein held on to the information supposedly from Blasey
It's-
Ford
but
for
still.
23 days.
And that's not even to get to like honestly.
We're not even getting to local seats.
I'll say
like
I'll say one thing though.
Christy Smith
I will say
torching to
this.
the ground all of the freaking charter schools.
Dude,
That was a statewide legislation she introduced,
okay.
bro.
Whatever.
And now Andrew Yang's endorsing her. Please. Anyway, keep going.
I know you. Like I said, it just
The
it's
devil
funny.
is in the details,
You can like
dog.
talk about politics objectively a little bit, but then it shoulders up to a culture war thing you have a problem with.
How
and
is that
it's
a
just
culture
like-
war? How is getting rid of special needs
There you go.
students,
Sorry,
unique
it's not.
program,
It's just
culture war?
You're right. It's just justice. It's truth, Card. It's what's right. This is more than politics.
No, culture war is like whether or not, you know,
Okay.
you think they should have bare midriffs on TV or not because your
Okay.
pastor might get angry.
Honestly, I would say that's up for debate.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wanted the show. I thought it'd be interesting. Kelly Loeffler has released her first attack ad against Warnock. Just getting back to what we were talking about Georgia. This is what's going on in
She's
Georgia.
hot. She wins.
Dude, this is a pretty. I want to say brutal but like this is a pretty direct attack ad. I could see why Warnock had got his preemptively. That was like, it was like they're like preemptive, like, I'm gonna be attacked soon. Don't believe it, ads. Here's what Loeffler put out against him.
This is America. But will it still be if
hilarious.
the radical
Pledge
left
of Allegiance.
controls the Senate? Raphael Warnock called police thugs and gangsters, hosted a rally for communist dictator Fidel Castro,
Ooh,
and
are you
praised
kidding me?
Marxism in speeches and writings. Raphael Warnock will give the radicals total control. Saving the Senate is about saving America from that.
Dude, this is a powerful
I'm Kelly
ad.
Loeffler. I approve.
What's that mean?
Oh, her
For,
little
like,
voice ruins it though.
yes, for Georgians that are not progressive, I have to imagine that that's a could be
He
compelling.
hosted
But I just mean
a freaking rally for Fidel Castro.
That is a
I
tough
can't think
image
of
for
something
people that
more
don't-
morally reprehensible. Is that true?
Okay, I don't know.
Warnock hosted a mother free. He hosted Fidel Castro.
he probably
the guy
did
that
it,
would
but
force
yeah.
women to watch
Okay, I
Che
understand.
Guevara assassinating
okay.
their 8-year-old child.
Yes,
He had him in a church of God.
I think in 2020,
this guy.
people are pretty set on their Castro opinions in 2020.
Opinions. Do you
Yeah.
know who? That's literally like having mini
Dude,
Hitler.
there are
over.
some people that will just defend Castro no matter what. Like I just
Yeah, like that idiot cabbie who was wearing the
Okay.
swastika armband.
that.
you
That's
know?
that was a different story. I have no idea what that was. That was it. But it's just the idea that yeah, this is going to be a mud fight down there in Georgia. it
That's
looks
not a
like.
mud fight. There's nothing more morally reprehensible than hosting
Okay,
a freaking
Cardin,
Cuban
I know.
dictator.
Like I said, you're culture war paralyzed.
No, that's not a culture
Dude,
war.
you do have
the
to-
guy
no,
slaughtered
no,
hundreds of
okay,
thousands.
I'm not talking about Castro. You do have to admit, it is pretty funny starting off an ad, which is a bunch of kids. All white kids, by the way.
No,
maybe
there's a
one,
black chick
one
and an
racially
Asian kid right
ambiguous.
there. No, there's two of them.
But
I
still,
checked.
It's just
Yeah.
funny that it's like it starts off like kids sing the Pledge of Allegiance at elementary school. By the way, school's open, no masks. Like it's just really funny. Like the imagery they use. Like
By the way, I guarantee you
America,
that was
the eagle.
I
the
guarantee you that
flag.
was a purchased stock image.
Well, no, I understand that, but they still chose to use it to show
Yeah.
like kids in classrooms saying the Pledge of Allegiance
Yeah.
like it ought to be. It's such a funny like rock flag and eagle style pro America push. It kind of cracks me up a little bit. It's like the 2020 Twitter Norman Mailer painting. You know what I mean? Or was that Norman Rockwell? Was the guy who did like the American paintings, right? It's like the 2020 version of it.
Okay,
bunch
so
of kids
apparently
in school.
Warnock's campaign is saying that in 1995 he wasn't a decision maker of the church that hosted it, which I am not sure I believe or not, because decision maker is a very even the
Dude,
politicians
it
that
doesn't
voted
matter
on
what the
bills
truth
say I
is.
wasn't the decision
Card.
maker.
It doesn't matter what the truth is. There's a picture of him standing next to Castro.
Yeah.
It's either going to affect voters or it won't. They're going to put it in their faces for the next few months.
Yeah.
But it's just funny, right? That it's just such a funny campaign to run.
Yeah.
Like America, kids saying the Pledge of Allegiance. He wants to bring in
Dude, how
Fidel Castro.
manipulable we are by media. I went from watching
everyone.
one commercial thinking, oh, this guy may not be so bad because he's funny.
He like-
To all of a
hey,
sudden realizing,
he likes puppies.
what?
He likes puppies.
freaking hosted Fidel Castro. Like you just
from
saw.
from some of the light digging I've done, this isn't even all of the crazy ridiculous things people say about this one. Like the crazy conspiratorial nonsense they've accused this guy of. They haven't even brought that up yet. I have to imagine they're gonna bring that up.
Wait, so what conspiratorial nonsense have they accused him of? Anything good?
There's allegedly some story. I didn't dive all the way fully into this, but I got a synopsis, which I'm not too far. But anyway, essentially, he has an estranged ex-wife, and they had some kind of altercation or something, like the argument or whatever, and she accused him of running over her foot. But she never called the doctor for her foot, and they couldn't x-ray her foot, and it was fine. But she said he intentionally ran over her foot, driving away quickly. Anyway, it's the kind of BS you put in a political ad.
Yeah, that seems really-
What is his, yeah.
his wife's foot.
troubling record of violence against the women. That's what they'll say. You know what I mean? Accusations of domestic violence. It's just so stupid. But they use it to everyone. You know.
Oh, that is funny. That is absolutely funny. So this is going to be fun. So this Warnock. Well, so
And we haven't gotten to Ossoff yet. I haven't looked too far.
Leffler's not off our hook though, too, because she's the one that dumped all the stocks after she had the briefing on coronavirus.
Here's the story.
Her and Dianne
look,
Feinstein dumped
yes.
a bunch of stocks
Yes.
because her husband is all big up in
But-
Wall Street.
But
Okay.
I understand all that. And again, it's the reason why I don't think the story is going to matter either. It's just the nonsense comes out. With that being said, Cardin,
Yeah.
she beat the other Republican running. So not like.
I was about to say she'll win though because
Yeah.
she's got the money in the backing of Wall Street.
Here we go. Here's the article from the
That's
Atlanta
why.
Journal-Constitution. Again, this is local. This is Atlanta Journal-Constitution. It's not
Okay.
some right-wing smear site. Like it's just like local Atlanta media.
Okay.
This is the article. Warnock wife involves in dispute.
The Reverend
By the
Raphael
way,
Warnock.
March
Yeah.
9th, 2020. This happened earlier this year. The Reverend Raphael Warnock, a Democrat running for U.S. Senate, was accused by his wife of running over her foot with his car during a heated argument days before he filed paperwork to officially seek the office, according to a police report obtained by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. They go on to mention, however, that he says it didn't happen, and I believe the evidence backs
The
that
senior
up.
pastor of Alabama's Ebenezer Baptist.
Yeah.
Ooh, an
My-
old Scottish Baptist church.
I
Rock
believe
on.
it's, I think it's MLK's old churches. Anyway, though, the only point I want to
Really?
get to, I want to see
That's
where
cool.
they bring it up. They bring up that where is it? That they didn't pursue it. She filed a police report. They didn't pursue it because it looks like here we go. The report said that his wife was able to wiggle her toes and that Grady Hospital first responders were not able to locate any swelling, redness, or bruising or broken bones. Atlanta police declined to offer any additional details. However, they said, we won't let the
Okay.
report speak for itself. The report says that she said he ran over his foot and she went to the doctor, and they're like, no, he didn't. So he obviously didn't. My only point is the truth doesn't matter in attack ads. And I just dude, I guarantee you when we get into the dog days of this special election, early January, late December, nonsense like this is going to come out. Because trust me, the Loeffler sold off all of her stock. That nonsense is going to come out, which is less nonsense and more true. But still, it's, you know what I mean? Like the mudslinging is going to start. It's just... I mean, it's hilarious though, dude. With the way our modern media works, you literally can run an ad saying Warnock's troubling past of allegations of abuse. Because they do exist. A police report was filed. It's 100% not true. It was actually mostly proven false. But in an attack ad, you could say that he has a shadowy background. And technically, you can't get sued. It's like it is. Someone did at one point file a police report against him.
Yeah.
So that's what I hate.
That's not hard though. I
That's
could
why
go
politics
tomorrow
is
and
so stupid.
I could follow a police report
Exactly.
against you.
And
Yeah.
exactly. And then you can run a political attack ad saying, yeah, Cody's dark past with theft, or the workplace. Like you can just make something up. Like you can be like, oh yeah, you stole all the computers.
Cody stole my pen.
Yeah. Oh no.
Lie.
Oh, look, he's on video doing it. You know,
Yeah.
like it's like all this stuff just drives me crazy, man. It's all just such BS. They're gonna pull it on this Warnock guy. They're gonna pull it on Loeffler. They're gonna pull it on Ossoff. They're gonna pull it on the person running it's Ossoff. I'm blanking on his name. But yes.
So, see, the Loeffler attack ad could be really vicious after hearing the information that the American public had yet to know
Well,
of.
this is old news.
She dumped. No, but they could bring it back.
But it was literally
could bring it
literally
back.
reported like 5 months ago. I just mean
Yeah, but still, what?
I
Find
don't
out
think-
that your senator dumped hundreds
Well,
of thousands and millions of dollars worth of stock when
Oh,
they found
sorry,
out it was going
that-
to go bad after
Yeah,
the coronavirus hearing.
that's
That
bad.
is freaking selling out the American
didn't
people.
work.
That's as bad
didn't work
as
in the
Joe
primary.
Biden
Isn't that crazy?
selling his name to get his son Hunter millions. I think it would actually be easier to write a modern attack ad against Loeffler for dumping stocks pre-coronavirus. Actually, no. The Fidel Castro thing's too bad. There's a picture of him standing next to Fidel Castro. You're right. That visual is just too bad. You know what I'm saying? Warnock can't win this thing.
For the people
He's
that
a freaking commie.
for the people that it really pisses off, yeah, like they don't even care about.
I'll
the
tell
truth.
you right now, dude.
For some
my
people, it'll be
grandfather
indifferent, right?
had a death sentence from Fidel Castro. F this Warnock guy.
Okay.
F this Warnock
Hey,
guy.
remember, Card? He had no decision making
Oh,
capabilities.
please. He was a youth pastor. He could have stood up. He's all about standing
No,
up now.
dude, they
He's all
literally-
about hashtag resistance.
A giant person literally bear hugged him and lifted him up on the stage and said, "You better stand there the whole time." Anyway, and just to be fair, right, we're going to get into, ironically enough, also this spring,
Yeah.
the controversy surrounding the Republican in this race. However, a bit more substantial here. This isn't somebody's estranged ex-wife. It's like, he ran me over with the car. And they're like, yeah, nah, you didn't. A new U.S. senator from Georgia has come under fire for selling $20 million in stock after a briefing in the weeks leading up to the coronavirus pandemic. Not good.
Before all the lockdowns, she
Yes.
basically dumped all her stocks on anything that would be affected by the lockdown.
20 million. It's not like, every now and then we sell some off. to
Because
get
doesn't
some,
her
like,
husband run the New York Stock Exchange or used to run the New York Stock Exchange?
something. Anyway, Republican Kelly Loeffler was appointed to her seat against President Trump's wishes. Now, just 3 months into that appointment, Loeffler is fighting for a political life ahead of elections in November.
Kelly
Trump and his
Loeffler.
allies had lobbied heavily for U.S. Rep. Doug Collins to get the vacant seat, but Republican Governor Brian Kemp appointed Loeffler. The wealthy Georgia businesswoman had a compelling story. She grew up on a successful Illinois farm and was drawn into the world of stock trading. Hilarious. Eventually, she worked in the financial service industry as a chief executive. So somebody who knows numbers and gets somebody who came up in this industry. Because if I remember right, that I didn't even really realize this part of it, which is hilarious. She was drawn into the world of stock trading, and then when you get further down, she's like, I had no idea.
No, look at this. Look, I just sent you a link, and you can click on the link of this. It says right there, Loeffler and her husband, who is CEO of a company that owns the New York Stock Exchange. If there's any proof that hot chicks marry ugly rich guys, you have to look at this freaking profile. That's her husband, Jeffrey Sprecher, who is the chairman of the New York Stock Exchange.
Oh, yeah, he's the CEO of the Intercontinental Exchange and the chairman of the New York Stock Exchange. Oh, so he's just the...
Look, Kelly Loeffler's old, fat, and ugly husband.
Hey, old, fat, and ugly. He's worth 300...
But he's worth billions.
Worth $355 million. Really? I don't believe that number at
So
all.
Look at her. There's the dreamboat.
Oh, my God.
Hot blonde. Who's then, married to freaking, Shrek.
Overselling it a little bit.
With a smile.
Overselling it a bit. However, it is pretty funny that the Republicans are trying to rebrand themselves as the party of the working class.
Yeah.
I don't think having this woman and her $355 million husband, who's the chairman and CEO of the International Exchange and the chairman of the New York Stock Exchange. Yeah, definitely the party of the working class.
No, so just drag your mouse over her again.
That is hilarious.
So their faces are right next to each other. You cannot tell me.
Hey, people marry whoever they want. I'm not going to get into that. Maybe she just loves the stock trading ability, right? Yeah. But it's just hilarious, man, that it's like her husband's a stock trader. She came up with trading stocks, and then all of a sudden, where do they have the actual allegations? She sold off a bunch of stock and travel, right? Oh my God.
I'm in need.
So yeah, this is gonna come up again. In
she's a traveling.
No, but I believe she was wealthy from her own nonsense before that. I think she was shady and did shady stuff before that.
Okay, so where does...
But you know what's funny is that, dude, again, she still basically won her primary. This is where I have the...
So where does Kelly Loeffler's wealth come from?
Not win, but she basically, because there's a runoff, essentially there is now a Democrat and a Republican primary. You can almost look at it that way in the general, right? There's a second primary, but she basically won it. I mean, she clearly beat Doug Collins.
Look, she's declared by Forbes the richest politician on Capitol Hill.
That is so.
Yeah,
that is
richest
so
politician
funny.
on Capitol Hill is likely Georgia's recently appointed controversial Senator Kelly Loeffler.
Hey, you know what though?
Ooh.
That's going to be an interesting case for the party of Mark's candidate, right? Because it's you are though, you're definitely the rich person candidate. You're literally a wealthy stockbroker, basically married to King Stockbroker. Well, what the hell is this? So that is one of the funny things to look into at this upcoming special election.
So apparently she didn't get that much richer from the stock trades that she did. All right. So that's what third-party Forbes is reporting, and says that she's 49, her husband's 65. So she's 16 years younger than this cat. Yeah, I'm sure it's because of his stock trading ability.
Hey,
right?
Who knows, man? She's interested in.
And yeah, that's fine. Who knows? And by the way, I mean, if something would happen to Brittany, I'd go 16 years younger.
Here's the other thing.
Why not?
It's not like she's Miss Universe or anything either. No offense to Miss Loeffler.
But she's totally hot
appears
for
to
49. She's straight up almost 50. She's hot.
There we go. I guess.
What? Yeah. Come on, man. You got to give some credit where credit is due, brother.
She's a very handsome woman.
Ooh, you can't say handsome to a woman or else that's just bad. That's just straight up calling them old to their face. There was actually a Star Trek, The Next Generation.
That's what I was referencing.
Yeah, rock on, brother. We're on the same wavelength there,
When the old captain gets without getting into the show, just an old man gets transplanted into a young man's body and he calls a woman handsome. It's it's not something young men say to women.
Look, go down on the Forbes article. She's taller than her husband. Okay, no, just go down on the Forbes article.
I don't have Forbes article. You just keep pointing to me. I don't have one.
Okay, fine. Then here, I am copying
this
image.
You didn't send it to me.
And I'm sending it to you in the Discord. Look at this. You literally have got to look at this, bro. Put that straight up on the screen. Okay, and it's not one of the pictures for ants that I send you. It's actually a good size regular picture, all right? There's Kelly Loeffler She's tall. She's beautiful. She's
Oh my
elegant.
God,
got the
dude,
long
you
hair.
are- you're
everything.
putting this
and
Loeffler
she
woman
towers
over
over
crazy.
both those little dweebs. The dude at the podium.
I guess she might be wearing high heels, dude. Like, add
yeah,
like 4
but that's
inches to her height.
man. You can That never looks good when the wife is taller than the husband. It never.
You
does.
know what, dude? I cannot bring this race up anymore because you'll just
Burst into song.
You'll just put this Loeffler woman over, the most beautiful woman of all time. She's a she's a goddess. That's beautiful. It's like Jesus, dude. Like she's, I guess, a regular looking person. Good for her. She looks normal. like, not even normal. She just looks like, I guess that's what people look like.
But
I
don't
even
you
know.
remember when we were
But,
doing? Don't you remember when we were doing the interviews with the Yang Gang in Santa Monica, and there was the guy who said Donald Trump will
it's
win because
Loeffler.
he's the tallest.
1 second. Rainbow Bubbles, $5 super chat. He said, "As a Georgian, your pronunciation of Loeffler is killing me. It's pronounced Loeffler, not
Oh yeah, because
Loeffler."
we were mixing Laughlin with
No, I
Loeffler.
literally just was reading it wrong. I thought he said I paid for 150 characters and I'm using them all ellipses. You did, man. You got them all in there. You got them all in.
That's pretty good, dude. Rainbow Bubbles, rock on. So, by the way, if I had to choose a state, me and Brittany were seriously looking at Macon, Georgia, to relocate. Georgia's a beautiful place.
Moving
beautiful
time, you
people.
could vote in the special election. You could vote for
Yeah.
your. You could vote for your.
I can vote for my Jew. I'm
yeah.
coming, Kelly.
Yeah.
I'm coming. Put them heels on.
Just don't tell anyone because it is. It literally would be illegal to move to Georgia, vote, and then just move out after the election. Like that's literally illegal. However, it's like if you just be like, oh, I thought I had work opportunities, so I moved for 3 months
Yeah.
and they weren't there, so I left. Like, how do they prove it? You know,
You can
I
literally
thought
say,
I was going to
an
stay
actor.
longer.
I was an actor
Yeah.
auditioning in Atlanta. I was hoping to get a role on The Walking Dead, so I was hanging out there for 3 weeks trying to get a PA job. You could say whatever, and as long as they don't catch you with a Facebook post saying I am moving in order to influence the election, then you're off the hook.
I am committing federal election crimes.
Well, I mean, it's just like those.
They take a selfie. Here's me
Yeah.
committing a felony, voting twice.
So Rainbow Bubbles just totally made my day. And
Oh.
Adam Duffy says, y'all should have seen the Ossoff attack ads. I've never heard the word Tinseltown so many times in such a little amount of time. Hey, let's pull it up. We'll see if we can see what you're talking about. And Adam Duffy says, this bee got Michael Bay to direct that ad.
A lot of money. A lot of money's going into that.
Did Michael Bay direct it? No, I'm just kidding.
But a lot of money's going into this stuff.
Yeah, and then George Washington says, we need to remove Doris Matsui. Who is Doris Matsui? Cody, are you aware of who Doris Matsui is?
No.
Well, you're looking up that one ad. I will look up Doris Matsui and see what George Washington's gripe is with
You want to know?
Doris Matsui.
You know what pissed me off about George Washington?
She is
Not
in
only
California's
did George-
6th congressional district. Yeah, no wonder he wants to get rid of her.
Not only did George Washington decide to step down when he could have been the first king of America, and he
Yeah.
said, no, I will not be king. He didn't have any legitimate children. There is literally
Yeah.
no legitimate heir to the American throne going back to our revolution.
Yeah, why didn't he have any legitimate children?
Because he was a weirdo. Like George Washington. I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm not a George Washington scholar. The facts I know about him, he seems like a total weirdo. I mean, you kind of have to be a weird eccentric to like do what he did. But I think he was just kind of like a weird guy. He just didn't have kids. I'm trying to find these ads. Well, the Ossoff ads ad, Andy or Adam. Yeah, I want to say Andy.
She
Were they
represents Sacramento.
against Ossoff or Ossoff's ads against the person? I'm trying to pull up the right one.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Sacramento could be the most beautiful town. It literally, it's very pretty in its absolute middle downtown part, but it could be so much prettier if they would actually just put some work into it. Some additional work, I should say.
How about
into
this?
it.
What about this? I don't know if you saw this yet, but Christian saw
Okay.
about interesting point. He said, sitting here listening to both of you, thinking to myself, what happened to Americans and striving for truth and the American dream? Our politics is all about greed and corruption. Shake my head. Yes. However,
That's true.
in a way, it's kind of always been that way. I mean, I thank you, Anti. Also, I'll look that up because, like, how do I?
By the way,
bring it
Adam Duffy says it was anti-Ossoff.
Yeah. I'm trying to pull them up now. I'm looking to see if I can
Okay.
pull them up. It's just
Well, and they bring up a good point. Since you are the authoritarian constitutional monarch in the studio, Adam Duffy suggests that you claim that you're the descendant and be our king. Now you could do that because
I
through Jewish
literally-
law,
I have
the
no-
Jewishness
I-
comes
there's-
from your mother's side.
I have no ties to
And
the
you could
United
say-
States pre like 1920, dude. No one in my extended family
no.
was in this country before like.
Dude, look, we had
19
the Obama birther conspiracy, and that like rocked the news for
But
a year.
that was stupid. I'm
So
saying
we
like
could-
literally, no, like I have like it's like it's like 2 generations. It's like yeah, my grandparents remember when their grandparents came here. Like it's like not that long. I would have no claim to that throne. You'd have to find someone who had maybe not been in America this whole time, but you'd have to find somebody whose family
yeah,
was
like
in
I've
America,
got family that
maybe
dates
went
back to the
Europe,
Pilgrims.
and
I
then
got the
came back
family.
to
Yeah.
No, but Pilgrims weren't Americans.
Whoa, you're treading on thin ice, dog.
They
No.
weren't. There was no such thing as the United States of
Yeah,
America.
no,
when
but you're saying
Pilgrims
somebody
came.
whose family has been here long enough where it could fit within the
since the
timeline.
Revolution.
Yeah, exactly. So I
By
got
the way, check
family
this
that
out.
dates back to the
Check this out.
1600s here.
What did
On
they
my
do?
mother's side.
what
On
did
my
they-
father's side, it's all Polish people fighting the Nazis.
Did they do anything against the revolution though? Check this out. So I'm still trying to find the right ad, but David Perdue, he has
Hit it.
409 subscribers on YouTube, and he's verified. He's 409 subs, dude.
Wow. Okay.
Now, let me go through. That's nothing. See if I can find
Yeah.
the Tinseltown ad.
We'll find the Tinseltown ad, Tinseltown.
And we'll wrap up on that. Just because I love watching political ads, man. They crack me up.
Yeah, so I'm still down with Adam Duffy's idea to just claim that you're the
I'm
descendant
David
of the
Perdue,
throne.
and I approve this message.
Let's watch this one.
Riots destroying cities. Officers hunted down.
It's true.
But John Ossoff supports defunding police.
Definite
Prick.
theme
As America
with these
unites to
Georgia
beat a
attack
pandemic,
ads.
Ossoff speaks hate.
You're not just gonna get beaten. You're gonna get beaten so bad you can never run or show your face again in public.
Senator? No way. John Ossoff's far too radical.
That's like such a tame political stance.
Yeah.
Too. Like, I'm gonna beat them so bad they can never
Yeah,
run
you're right.
again.
That wasn't so bad.
That's like so tame. It's like, oh, okay, good. Ideally, that's what everybody running for office is. I'm gonna win, so affirmatively they can't even show their face in this town anymore.
Yeah.
That's like John Wayne stuff.
Yeah,
like,
in fact, that actually just might have made the progressives like him even more.
but
Yeah,
even
that's
that's
it.
like a John Wayne line. That has nothing to do with
Yeah. So Dustin also likes to point out that he's got family that dates back to John Adams. Oh, wait, dates back. Doesn't mean it was John Adams. Okay. Although that would be cool. Quick question. Does anybody in the chat actually have founding father heritage? Anybody? Bueller, Washington, Adams, Jefferson? That'd be super interesting to know because there's not too many people with the founding fathers' last names. Like, for example,
It's hilarious.
like you
second.
said, the
I wanna watch
Washingtons
this.
aren't related to Washington. Whoa.
Check this one out.
Okay. You won't be safe in John Ossoff's America.
We need to send a message this year. We need to send a message that if you indulge this kind of politics, you're not just gonna get beaten. You're gonna get beaten so bad you can never run or show your face again in public. Because we have had enough, absolutely enough, of what we are getting from Donald Trump and his fellow travelers right now.
It was literally just like out of context clips of it, like out
I
of
don't know if
context.
that's out of
from-
context, bro.
Dude, if he was talking about the
Dude.
context of running an election, like, hey, anyway, it was that.
Show me the
which is-
quote.
which is
I've
vi-
never seen a progressive
completely-
candidate that has denounced the riots or
completely-
the violence.
okay, but
I've never seen one.
I understand that, Cardin. And again,
Uh-huh.
this is where the culture world takes over your brain and you can't even think.
No,
anymore.
it's
You
not that I
start-
can't
you start
think.
speaking ahead,
Show
dude.
me a progressive
hold
that
on, hold
condemned
on,
the
hold on,
violence
hold
of
on.
the riots.
My point was this. They took unrelated footage and played it over an unrelated clip of John Ossoff talking about something and just played like Jaws music, like like it was just
called
total.
it Jaws music.
well, you-
It was pretty thunderous. It was.
but you
it
know,
was
like they just put it
yeah.
out. This crack me up. It's like the same thing as like all these ones. They'll just be like,
Yeah, no, but honestly,
so-and-so
here, chat,
wants to end all health.
show me a progressive
They want
candidate.
to ban healthcare globally.
Show me a Democrat.
for everyone. Like,
show me a
whatever.
Democrat that condemned the riots. Show me one.
Did I try? I tried putting in Tinseltown John Ossoff. I can't find. I'm looking. I'm just going through ads now. I'll find it. I'll find it.
None of them did. Nancy Pelosi's the only one I think that actually came out and said like, "Oh, I condemn like I think she said something like aggressive acts or like some kind of pathetic euphemism." You know what I'm saying? Like 20 days later. I think we were at like day 50 of the riots in Portland before one Democrat would like even say the name of Antifa. It was pathetic. So
Again, just totally just kvetching about the culture war because it vaguely was on
no,
topic.
but you say culture war about everything when there's like legitimate
everything-
problems.
No.
To me, no, the culture war is like whether or not, oh, you should be married before you have
exactly.
children.
You just define it as something that's different. I understand that, but no, like kvetching about like
It's not kvetching when Antifa
Dude,
comes to burn your business
no
down.
different.
That's
It's-
not kvetching.
It's no different.
That's reality.
There's no
and
difference
violence.
between people like, why won't Donald Trump condemn white supremacy again? And why don't people condemn violence again? Joe Biden never
No,
once was
I'm
like,
looking for the first
I'm
time.
pro-violence. Joe Biden's condemned the violence like 5 times. He keeps saying, stop the violence. It's not good. I condemn violence. He keeps saying it over and over again. You could say he's lying. He doesn't mean it. The dark hand will guide his ways elsewhere. But I'm just like, dude, like it's
Okay, you're right. No. Joe
It's-
Biden finally 65,
finally he's done it like
100
5
days
he's done it like
later
6
said
times,
something.
dude. He's done it like multiple times. Over
Okay,
and
so
over
we got
again.
one Joe Biden. Sweet. Any
No, not
others?
one. Over multiple times. And he's basically the president. I don't really care about what random people say.
Look,
There's
I'm
more.
still simping over Kelly Loeffler over here.
I
okay?
know. How about
Loeffler,
this? How about the
sorry.
fact that, what's his name? Jim Clyburn is like, we can't talk about defunding the police because we're not going to do it and stuff like that. Like, dude, like, all I'm saying
What, dog?
is that there's crazy hysterical nonsense the left-wing media puts out against conservatives that is just that crazy hysterical nonsense, and you can recognize that because you're not in the bag. However, you're in the bag for Republicans. So when Republican media puts out crazy hysterical nonsense about Democrats, you just believe it. You just eat it. It must be true.
Oh, so you're telling me if there was an attack out on Adam Schiff
Dude,
saying
one second.
he's a
One
wild-eyed
second.
person who believes
What I'm
conspiracy
saying is
theories,
this.
that it's not
What I'm
because he's
saying
a
is this.
wild-eyed
No,
psycho
what I'm
that
saying
literally
is this.
said Trump was a Russian
What I'm saying is
asset.
this. You'll go, of course Trump isn't a fascist dictator Russian asset, but Joe Biden, he's a
No,
Marxist
Joe Biden's
communist.
a senile old man, and I think
Okay.
people that voted for him were
My-
misled by the media.
Okay, whatever.
See, that's the difference. Is conservatives think
Okay.
that their opponents are misled or misinformed.
Okay, there we go.
We aren't
Exactly.
subject.
People miss. Hey, my point is this, dude, is that like everybody has blind spots and the media is always lying. And because the media is always lying, you're just going to miss the lies in your blind spots because you won't pick them up. But I just one of the things.
That's saying there's an equivalency to the two, and I'm sorry.
No, what isn't? I'm just saying the media is always lying about something. And you will have blind spots if you have certain political beliefs and allegiances that will cause you to miss those lies.
Okay, Adam Duffy
Just the truth.
gave us a super chat. Says Cody. Oh wait, no, sorry. Whoops, no, that was the old one. My Melanated Scope. Thank you for the super chat. Says when I run for alderman in Chicago, that's true. They've got little not barrios, but like their districts have aldermen, which are
Local
below
office,
the
I
mayor.
finally found it, by the way.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So when I run for alderman in Chicago, that's awesome. I'm going to ask for the PSP endorsement.
Here we go.
What up, y'all? Hit that button. Well, we're not actual politicians, so we can't do formal endorsements because only technically politicians can.
Well, no, but-
if you look up the nature of the word.
Okay.
However, the Washington Times will endorse, the New York Times will endorse, and
We
they use the
definitely-
colloquial
we
term
definitely
of the
endorse
word.
it,
Term of the word.
Honestly,
so yeah, I'll tell you
yes.
that your super chats are awesome.
Yeah, well, not only that, definitely endorse you. And from everything, just being around, you being in chats, talking with this man, sounds like you're exactly the kind of person Chicago needs in those roles.
Look,
So,
see, there it is right there. Just clip that. My
Hoping the best
Melanated
for you,
Scope
man.
right there. By the
well-
way, actually, for real, when you do run for alderman, we'll get you on the show and everything. You can talk about your
yeah.
You can
But
talk
still,
about
just
your run, the whole 9 yards.
wish all the best. Definitely sounds like the kind of guidance that people need. Because what was the story? I saw some alderman from Wisconsin, I think it was. Some Michigan or Wisconsin alderman got pulled over drunk driving and was just like, "This is the biggest mistake you'll ever make. Do you know who I am?"
know who I
And it's
am?
like, Dad, like you are an elected official and you're a local, but you're not the senator of the state. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's anyway. I hope the best for you. Adam Duffy, Cody, thank you for your diligence. My favorite ad. Pulled it up. Here we go. Ready?
Tinseltown, home of ultra liberals and everything fake. So it's not surprising Hollywood's bankrolling John Ossoff's campaigns. Ossoff's so fake, he exaggerated his national security credentials. So liberal, he praised AOC's radical Green New Deal and government-run health care. The latest, Hollywood Ossoff's movie company was caught working with Al Jazeera,
Okay, I
known
was
for
wondering.
terrorist ties. John Ossoff, as fake as his Tinseltown liberal friends.
Yes!
NRC is responsible for the content of this effort.
Dude,
Yeah.
politics.
I should
Politics
start
in
a production company.
different coast is hilarious. They hate Californians so much.
Dude,
man.
they hate
the entire
us.
ad is dripping with just like resentment for
hate
people
for
from
Hollywood.
Which, you know what? I literally can't blame them. They probably are right to hate us.
Yeah.
It was just hilarious. Just oh my god, just these Hollywood liberals. Oh my god, they're so terrible. They're so awful.
Liberal friends. By the way, is Ossoff? I haven't heard his name around Hollywood a lot. Is he? He's not very popular here. Because some of these political candidates do kind of get popular Hollywood followings. Like Elizabeth Warren could show up to any Hollywood party.
Okay, but she's been around forever. No.
And be like gushed over.
Because AOC
could show up to any. She hasn't been around forever. AOC's only been around for 4 years.
What I'm saying is,
she'd be gushed over.
A lot of this is like, how many rich people?
I don't think this Ossoff guy would be gushed over. Nobody would know who he is.
How many of these Hollywood rich people are pulling up their Bloomberg machine and manually buying and selling trades or stock? How many of them just trust their money with someone and say, just do the thing with it? A lot of these people just donate to like super PACs and stuff, and then they give money to the certain candidates. You know what I mean? They're not like these Hollywood liberals, whoever they are, aren't like circling, Senate seats and like, oh, Georgia coming up. There should be, we gotta, it's like, that's just not how it works. They just tell someone, hey, here's a bunch of money, give it to whoever we need. I support the team. It's more generally. They'll just kind of give money to like a PAC, and the PAC will distribute it. Because, dude, like what? You seriously think these like actors and these producers and these lawyers and these big like, entertainment industry people are like have like a big board on their wall with like all the congressional and Senate districts drawn up, and they're like, oh, this is a possible swing district of 2026. No, like they just give money to someone and say, give it to whoever needs to give it to them, and just give it to them, and that's what they do.
Okay, so got a couple of comments here in the chat again. Space Ace MA09 says the only reason I want Dems to win in Georgia because then maybe the left can push the Biden to do something. Otherwise, the Dems have a huge chance to lose the House in 2020. I got to tell you, Cody, just on a macro scale, regardless, everybody's so obsessed with Trump, they're not talking about the trend that was manifest in the 2020 election. And it was basically a wholesale rejection of the Democrat Party. And the blue wave that never happened in the House for the second time, and the blue wave that never happened in the Senate for the second time in a row. I know tons of people on Facebook and Instagram fights and so on and so forth that voted for Joe Biden, but then voted red on everything else because, they didn't like Trump or X, Y, or Z reason, or they're self-congratulatory never-Trumpers or whatever. But by and large, if you look at the historical trends in America, America is still, by a fraction of its chinny chin chin, center right, and only in times under extreme duress does it go liberal for X, Y, or Z or weird reason, or there's a celebrity candidate, or something like that, kind of like Obama was and whatnot, leading to like unprecedented voter turnout. Okay, I really think what we call in the Book of Mormon the Pride Cycle, or what some other people call the cyclical nature of politics, all right? I think we're coming back, we're rounding the hump where the boomers and the Gen Xers were super self-congratulatory liberal, but then the millennials had so much failure because of their leftism, especially that student debt and all those other problems. And then finally the Gen Zers are seeing it like, no, this sucks. So then they're actually going to start going red again. Also, starting 20 years ago, conservatives started having more children than liberals because of the whole zero populationism that started in the 70s, as well as the fact that generally religious people have more children than non-religious people, and conservative people generally have 8 more kids than the liberal couples do. So I actually think we're beginning to see a trend, a macro trend, towards voting generally more conservative as well, that is starting as of last election.
I get it. Cardin, do you not see how literally we could talk about what
eggs? Everybody's saying true. They all agree with me in the chat.
What I'm saying is we could be talking about why do eggs come in dozens, huh? Why don't they come in packages of 8? And you'll be like, you know why? It's because over long term Republicans will win because Republicans win. It's like not everything is not about the Republican battle with Democrats. Okay. I wanted one thing. Speaking of ads, I wanted to watch something. I've not seen this before. It's from CNN, so they might destroy us. I thought it'd be funny to watch an old. Here we go. We'll watch this.
Yeah, pop quiz here, all right?
And then we got some good super chats.
Yes, but I just want to play this. This is from October 28th, 2014. Firmly of the Obama era. talking about Mitch McConnell. I'm just curious to see what it's like. It's always fun to go back and watch how people talk about
this is how
the
Mitch
media.
McConnell understands me. He won the Mitch McConnell understands.
Pop quiz. Who was the deciding vote on Obamacare? Was it A, Mark Pryor, or B, Kay Hagan, or C, both of the above? Okay, take a look at these two nearly identical ads from Karl Rove's Crossroads Super PAC Empire. One from June against Pryor, and a brand new one against Hagan that we have slickly, but not
I
deceptively,
just want to pull up the
matched
Mitch
together.
McConnell one. Hold on. I want to pull up the Mitch McConnell one. Never mind. This was bad. Forget about that. I'm going to find something else.
Okay, can I read a super chat?
Please.
Okay, when we're winding down here too. So guys, if you got any more super chats, get them out of your system. If you got any other burning questions that you must absolutely ask us, just fire away right now. My Melanated Scope says, what would you define as Trumpism and what's the positive side to it? I keep seeing things like, will Trumpism survive after Trump?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a very good question. Very insightful, My Melanated Scope. I would actually define Trumpism as, first off, economic populism and this idea of America first. I think that rang true with people. Let's stop taking the shirt off of our backs because it's getting cold outside. And then second off, Trumpism as a personality trait is traditionally the silent majority has taken the Christian way of if you get called racist and you get slapped in the face with that insult, that you just turn the other cheek and you just take it. This idea that we just have to take all of these attacks from the left, whether they're cultural or political, and just take it, was ended by Donald Trump. Donald Trump said, no, we're not going to take it. In fact, we're getting out of NAFTA. No, we're not going to take it. In fact, we're getting out of the Paris Accords. No, I'm not going to take it. I'm going to call you fake news. And then I'm going to tweet about all the lies that you say. And he broke the media in the process, which is how I think he saved America. So Trumpism, I think, is literally this idea that I don't have to take your lies anymore, and I will confront you on those lies. I think that is what Trumpism is.
Okay,
This idea that America first teamed with, I don't have to take your nonsense and your lies about me being racist.
Now
That's what I think.
A little more sober-eyed view of it.
Oh, stop. Cody, why are you dogging that?
Because
Name one thing that was
you
wrong
literally
about
said
that
you
definition.
said he like he saved America. He's like, I think Trumpism is
No, he broke the fourth branch
I
of
think
government.
it's-
He broke the media.
Honestly, I think
Left,
this-
right, or
one
center,
second.
people think for themselves more now than they
I
did
think-
pre-Trump.
I think
Left, right, or center,
Hold a second.
people think for
one
themselves
second.
more now than
I
they
think of
ever
maybe
did
the
before
more,
Trump.
Like, the specifics, it's like a Republican Party, a big tent working party, conservative base. That's kind of what I think Trumpism represents. It's not just it's ironically enough, it's moving the Republican Party away from rich old white people. That's kind of what Trumpism was. It was, hey, everybody get involved, anti-establishment, kind of pro-working class. Dude, Trump was all about bringing jobs back, making sure we didn't get hammered in trade deals, ending wars. It's kind of like that style of conservatism. It's a style of conservatism that's more
It's more
about
nationalistic.
it's more big tent working class. Really, I think is the more specific. Like this, but you can say nationalistic, but what is that? Well, it's anybody that's an American. So that's a big tent. There's no. Ironically enough, the media said the opposite. I do believe the lasting legacy of Trump being president is a Republican Party that is much more open to just all demographics, more working class, more populist, a little bit more. Hey, we need to stop being screwed by the establishment.
Much more Latino, much
It's kind
more
of like
black,
the
much more
conservative version
working
of the 1% movement, or like we are the
99% movement.
yeah. But the anti 1% movement, right?
Yeah.
It was kind of like a conservative anti 1%, I guess.
Okay, so I think my Melanated Scope got more than he asked for. And Adam Duffy, Adam Duffy coming in with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh man, it keeps refreshing. I can't count them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 super chats. Adam Duffy. Awesome. He says, Cardin told me to fire off. So he just like a machine gun. He just locked and loaded. And I think it's symbolic. There were 7 super chats. There's 7 rounds in an M1911 Colt 45, dog. He just Colt 45'd off those, just like, he just like iced it with those super chats. And then we got another super chat. Thank you very much from Adam Duffy. Says, all right, I'm done now. Everyone drop a like in the stream or I'll delete your blank account. That's funny. Using censorship threats as an excuse to cultivate super chats.
Or if you disagree with anything we said, drop a dislike, as always.
Yes. So, yeah, I think we can end it right here. This has been awesome, guys. This has been a really fun stream. I had a lot of fun tonight, Cody. In fact, as evidenced by the fact I wasn't looking at the clock until I realized we totally went like an hour over our scheduled time.
Oh, but
So, anyway, thanks a lot for hanging out with us, guys. We will be here again on Monday.
yeah.
We'll talk soon. It's been real and it's been fun. It's been real fun. This is Problem Solver Politics. We'll see you guys.